Um, Cried like probably 3 times, 4 times in my life. The last one was when my dad died, you know, a while ago. And I've cried 4 times in the last 24 hours.
I'm Martin Bradley Bennett from Franklin, Tennessee.
No, I have not been on a missions trip. I want to get out of this trip just a closer spiritual relationship with God and help people at the same time. I expect God to kind of teach us all, help us grow as a group and spread the word and help kids and families see what we do and progress their lives in a godly fashion.
My name is David Benitez. I'm from Cashiers, North Carolina. I'm 20 years old and I go to Blue Ridge High School. Yes, I've been to Bolivia for 2 trips back to back. I want to feel good about helping people, but at the same time, I want to renew my relationship with Jesus. Let's see, this is the start of my sobriety. Just a week ago I was doing a bunch of drugs. Feel pretty called since I was not going on this trip just about less than 36 hours ago.
My name is Jim Cothran. I live in Cashiers.
Well, I think it's going to be a great trip. I feel like God has been involved, at least with me, from that Saturday morning you called me up. You caught me in a weak moment and asked me if I'd go on a missions trip. And I've been getting out of missions trips for several years, and for some reason I found myself saying yes.
I'm Micah Malarkey, and I'm 15 years old. I expect God to definitely work through this whole group and bring us closer together. Especially, I think it'll bring me and my dad closer together.
I'm just really glad we're here together. I don't get to spend as much time with him as I'd like. Looking forward to spending some more time with him and just trying to, see what he's all about.
My name is Isaac Cothran. I'm about 17, I think that's right. I'm from Cashiers, North Carolina. I lived there my whole life. A lot of just solid guys going. I'll hopefully be able to glean a lot from that.
Matt Ricky. Yes, I went to the Dominican Republic during college, and I went to the Philippines in graduate school. I guess my role is just to be there whenever called upon. Because I'm not the best hammerer or builder. I'm not really I don't have those skills, so I guess I'll just have to be there whenever someone asks me to do something and try to do that the best I can.
As far as I know, we're putting a roof on some building in some town called Rio Dulce.
Well, I guess we're going to be building a roof.
First thing we did when we got here, changed clothes, put on our tool belts, and go straight to work.
I'll feel it's hot, and I'll hear the hammers and stuff. But then I'll look over, and there's like the lake, the river is right there. It's just really, really nice. And then they call us for dinner. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, the end of the day here is the highlight of the whole day. That's when we get to hear Michael's just never-ending stories of miracles and things that God has done. Yesterday was a really big day. We got up early and had to meet the boat conveniently right across the street from where we're living.
I drove up Tributary. It was like an hour and a half maybe. It was about maybe a 30-minute walk. Walk straight through the water in the mud and out there balancing on the log, trying not to fall into this leech-infested swamp, which was just straight mud and cow doo-doo. And we all just trampling through it, and I had my pink shoes on, and they're not pink anymore. They're doo-doo brown.
We spent the rest of the next 4 hours just looking at cut toes and looking at teeth, bad teeth.
Provided, you know, medication and shoes and other, you know, toys and little knickknacks for them.
It's fun to get out there and see these kids and see their smiling faces when you give them this little Nerf ball that you can get at McDonald's with your Happy Meal. And they treasure it and love it and want to throw it all day long.
Thoughts on baptism, and I was like, well, I was baptized when I was a baby. She's like, well, that doesn't count. And for about like a good 10 seconds, and I just, without hesitation, I stood up and I jumped over every seat in the boat and went back to Michael. Do you think you baptize me? And he's like, yeah, if you really want it. And I was like, yeah, I want it. Leaned over to Chris and I was like, hey, I was like, I'm about to get baptized. I think it might be good, you know, camera footage, I don't know. And he was like, he turns around, looks at Jimmy, he's like, can I be in on this? I've never been baptized before. And Jimmy's like, yeah. Isaac Cawthorn, I hear his voice, he's like, I want to be baptized. And Michael's like, all right. So now we got 3 people. Dipped me in that water and I came back up, and just greatest feeling ever. And I just kind of like let up and just like laid in the water and just floated away from them. Just kind of took it all in, but it was a nice feeling. And I think that was my turning point of the trip, or one of them, and ever since I think I've changed myself, and because of that, now that I'm a new man, as you can call it.
Well, today is our last day of work, so this is when we've got to get it done. The roof is just about done.
Today, I want to hammer out this roof. We're so close to being done.
Everybody in their own world going out and experiencing, feeling, seeing the supernatural, and seeing and feeling and wanting more. I'm going to tell them about my heart and what it felt like, and how every day God's talking to us. It's taking that, instead of saying thanks and moving on, it's taking that and saying, thank you, what do you want me to do next?